So where are we going exactly?
So we're going down to the electronics lab in the basement. So I just got these boards in the mail, and I'll just put a bit of like solder on one of these like jumper just to bridge a connection, just to make a, pull a pin to ground. All right, come on in. We spend a lot of time here just like building things. I'm a software engineer. I was in computer graphics for like the last 15 years, and then at some point started doing extended reality work, but never on the hardware side. It's a good change. I actually enjoy doing something with my hands. It's nice to just like come down here, play with the soldering irons, and this was my final project in that class, how to make almost anything. And the idea here was to make something that could build a bridge into a future that's like a post-phone future. So the idea was to test if I could board a flight with just XR glasses and something like this, and without a phone. I actually went and boarded a flight, sent my boarding pass to this device, and the kind people at the gate let me actually board.
They didn't seem fazed by that?
No, I think maybe part of it was that I prepared them for it. I just walked up and said, I'm at MIT, I do weird things. Would you please let me try this? And they were okay with it. In hindsight, some people told me maybe you shouldn't have done that. It's a major US airport. Part of the ethos here is to, not just do things that are academically interesting, but also like take it into the wild and test it and see how it reacts to the world and how the world reacts to it. So the initial idea was to use this as a device that interacts with my XR glasses, so that the screen essentially becomes a portal into that virtual world. It's e-ink, it's low power. E-ink was invented here in the Media Lab, so it's a nice nod to our past. I didn't want to have any additional buttons on this, just for like size constraints, so I just have two pins that if I bridge those two pins with a bit of solder, then I can just flash software on it. Started using it for kind of like personal little use cases. What it does currently is every morning it sends me a journaling prompt, and I can accept it or say I don't want to do that right now with the two buttons. But it lets me interact with an AI system that sends these prompts without taking out my phone, without being flooded by notifications. So it's nice to just have a moment of peace and quiet in the morning. It came together relatively easily, but that's also because I had a lot of support here. Some of my fellow students here are just very good at hardware design, when I am not. It's not my area of expertise. But Ceci, for example, she literally made Guatemala's first satellite, and she designed the power system for that satellite. She was somebody I kind of consulted with when I designed the power system for this, which is much simpler than a satellite. Like what I really enjoy is like experimenting with stuff like that. We have like our core research and like that's important, but then having the space and the ability to like work on things that are for my own, learning and enjoyment, but then hopefully also interesting use case for other people. I think that's really important, keeping it playful. Even though, we have lots of problems to solve, but doing fun things like that, also important.